Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning. So I'm Sterling Grimes.
And I'm Trevor Foote.
And we are here with you for our first debut show this morning. We're just two realtors from Moorefield Real Estate, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about the market around Rocky Mount and kind of what's going on all over the country with real estate. I'll let Trevor introduce a little bit about herself and how long she's been doing this, and then I'll tell you the same.
Yes, so Trevor Foote and I have been in Rocky Mount since '97. So we moved here, my husband and I, and he started building homes with Ken Moorefield.
Right.
And then forward 2009, Mr. Moorefield started Moorefield Real Estate. I got my license, and he and I started when the market was not so great.
Rock bottom.
And oh my goodness, so many houses were on the market, unlike today. So, so that's basically me.
Yeah. Two children here in Rocky Mount that you raised.
Two boys, and Jay Hooks also is now owner with me at Moorefield Real Estate, and my husband is still building, going strong, Foote in Moorefield. So.
Very good.
And how about you, Sterling? When did you get your license?
Yeah. So Trevor actually was part of the inspiration behind my license. I got mine, you said 2009? I think mine was 2010. So this coming year makes 14 years that I've had mine. We have always been friends, so she kind of inspired that. But I grew up not far from here in Scotland Neck, or just outside Scotland Neck, and my husband farms, and we currently live in Edgecombe County. But I have two small children here in Rocky Mount, and they go to school here in this community, and I am passionate, just as Trevor is, about real estate and development of the community that we live in and love.
But Sterling, you got your license in 2010, but you didn't work in real estate until
That's right,
recently.
Until recently. So you may have seen me on here before because I used to do some shows with Jean Kitchen with Here's to Your Good Health for the hospital. So I have been at the hospital for 12 years and just officially made a transition last June. And I certainly miss my time and my good friends that I made at the hospital, but this has been a great transition for me. Something happens when you turn 40. It's like got to try something you always wanted to do, right? So here we are.
She's doing fabulous and great, and she's also got a talent of design, and that really comes into play with house listings, and she's just
we'll make a whole show about staging.
Yes, yes.
One of the things we wanted to talk about today, and I'm going to share the phone number, so if you're listening and you have some questions, we'll do our best to answer them on air. And if we can't get it, then the office phone number is on the bottom of your screen, and Moorefield Real Estate, you can certainly Google it, or certainly call the office and ask to speak to one of us. But the phone number to call in live, if you have questions during the show, is 252-407-1111. 252-407-1111. So one of the main things we were going to talk about today was price per square foot, because people always love to talk about price per square foot, don't they?
They do, and it's not always the most accurate way to find value in a house, but it's out there. Buyers know it, agents know it. And it's basically the price of the house divided by the square foot.
Right, right.
And it's really important to get the correct square footage, because that can affect, the value that you get from there. But so having a licensed appraiser is always good to have the house measured. It's not always right in the tax card, so you can't depend on that.
It's often not right in the tax card.
Often not right.
Yes. So when we list a house, we always have someone come measure it and do not assume. Actually, we just assume that we should ignore the tax card square footage for the moment and make sure we have it measured to make sure it's accurate.
And back when I first started, I would do my own measuring or have my husband measure for me, but it's always great to have a licensed appraiser.
So you pulled some information for us today to talk about price per square foot.
Yeah, I thought it would be interesting to see how our area compares to around the country. So
it's a deal for real in Rocky Mount, right?
yeah. Okay, so
interesting enough, tell them what California was, because we were talking about this last night.
yeah, I know. Let's say, okay, in 2018 in San Jose, California, the price per square foot was $716, and now today it's $845. But I don't know if y'all, you know, that number is so off the charts. Rocky Mount is, you know, $130 to $150 a square foot, sometimes lower. New construction might get up to $210, but that number is
That's astronomical. Almost $900 a square foot.
Yeah, so then I pulled down and to
Raleigh.
see, we were this is the top 50. Charlotte was, look at this, 133 a square foot in 2018, and now is 212.
And that's average. So that means that there's some 400 square foot homes mixed in that, $400 per square foot. And that means there's some $100 a square foot homes mixed in that. So the average. And then what's the average for Raleigh? Because that's when people are often moving here from Raleigh, because they used to have to go in the office every day. And now they go in the office 2 days a week or 3 days a week, and Rocky Mount is so much more affordable, with also a great lifestyle without so much traffic, is what we keep hearing. So that's why they keep wanting to come here. And the lifestyle is certainly impacted by cost of living.
Yes.
So tell us what their price per square foot is.
2018 was $139 a square foot, and 2023 is $204.
Wow.
It's a big jump.
That's like a new construction in Rocky Mount.
Right. It sure is. And then most bang for your buck, 10 least expensive cities based on price per square foot. Cleveland, Ohio.
Number
It's
one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Although we do hear about people leaving the Northeast, so
And look, they're
Midwest.
133 a square foot. That's, you know, that's really like here. So
Right.
And Raleigh, no, North Carolina was on that list.
So let's talk them through, Trevor, what we talk about in the office. Like if someone's lot, for example, is 1/4 of an acre versus if someone's home site is 3 acres. That is figured into price per square foot,
Well, it should be,
but it's not.
but it's not. Right.
So the home on that lot is all it's looking at in price per square foot. It's not looking at the extra amenities. Does it have a pool? Does it have
Detached garage.
That's right. That's right. Does it have, you know, state of the art everything within this 1,000 square foot house, or is it, you know, a little tired and outdated? None of that is figured into that exact number.
Right.
And so people get really fixated on that price per square foot, but when all the extras figure into it.
Yeah, and right now, new construction in our area is really going well, because there are not as many existing homes out there, and new construction is, you know, everybody wants a new house, and the builders can give incentives about the interest rate. They can buy that down. So we're finding in our area, new construction is doing well, and that per square foot can be 180 to 210, sometimes a little less too. D.R. Horton has some production homes out there, and they can be in the 150s to 170s square foot.
Yeah, so the price per square foot, that was one of the reasons we wanted to talk about it today, is because so many people really focus on it, and it is something that appraisers take in consideration, but they are looking at so many more aspects about the house, just as real estate agents are, and just as you are, as you know, the public buying homes. But people always come back to what that price per square foot is.
Yeah, and sometimes appraisers kind of are like, you know, that there's so much more involved to pricing a house.
Yes, Yes. So speaking of that, when we think about price per square foot, were you able to pull exactly what Rocky Mounts was, or do you remember what the average here was in 18? No,
you know what?
It's okay.
Yeah, this morning I pulled a few, and average per square foot, I would say 130.
130.
Yeah.
Okay, 135. That's kind of what I was saying. Less than that 150.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they tend to go quickly. If sellers are wanting to get more, like 180 per square foot, they tend to sit a little longer.
Yes.
They've got new construction that competes with that, so you've got to be careful when you do use a price per square foot.
But one thing that has really helped our market stay strong is the lack of inventory that you referenced. Yes. So the lack of inventory, luckily and gratefully, we do have these kind of larger builders that have come to the area. That wasn't really here 5 and 10 years ago. It was the more independent and custom homes. So the larger D.R. Horton that you referenced, Caruso Home out here, there are several others, have helped the community continue to be able to meet the demand, because North Carolina is one of those states where people continue to come in, which is great.
And it's such a nice variety we have here. We've got the production builders that do a great job, but then we have custom home builders that really, you can put your heavy trim in there, you can pick everything. The production builders, you really have to stay with what they pick, and that's what keeps the cost down. But it's nice that we have such a variety. We've got local builders here that are great and can do custom. If you own your lot, you can pick your plan and build a house custom.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what we wanted to focus on today. Next week, we'll be here every 2 weeks from 8:20 to 8:40. We'll follow Roger, and then Roger will come back on after us. So you'll have a great morning, mixed of different topics. But we'll be here every 2 weeks in the morning to kind of talk about real estate, and we'll pick a topic that hopefully is interesting to you. But if there is something else that you'd like to learn more about, please reach out to us. And if you have any questions specifically about your property or your home, one of us would love to help you. So thank you so much for having us this morning.
Thank you.
We look forward to joining you next time. Happy Veterans Day next Monday to all the veterans. On Friday to all the veterans.